All right, EagleCoins family, stop scrolling right now and listen to me. What if I told you there's a standing Liberty quarter sitting in someone's drawer, maybe even in your pocket, that looks old, dirty, ordinary, but it's actually worth serious money? I'm talking hidden wealth, silent fortune found in plain sight. These old coins is a treasure, and people are accidentally spending them every single day. Do not spend these coins. Rare coins equals big money, and nobody talks about these like they should. Secret collectors want them. Collectors are fighting for them. Real auction shock happens when these show up. This is a rare US coins alert. Check your pocket now. Check that coin jar. Check your grandpa's drawer. Because some tiny detail makes these rare, and once you see it, these change everything. Each coin in today's video gets bigger, rarer, and more shocking. The last one, you're not ready. Do not spend these coins. Stay till the end, because what you're holding could be a life-changing opportunity. Let's go. Secret collectors want these standing Liberty quarters. First coin, number 1. Now imagine this. It's 1919. The world is trying to breathe again after war. America is shifting. Factories are loud. Money is tight. And people are rebuilding their lives after World War I. In the middle of all that chaos, a silver coin quietly enters circulation. Nobody thinks it's special. Nobody treats it like treasure. But today, that exact coin is a hidden fortune. I'm talking about the 1919 standing Liberty quarter without a mint mark. And if you ignore this coin, you could be ignoring quiet wealth sitting right in front of you. When this quarter was struck in 1919, the United States was under economic pressure. The war had just ended. The country was transitioning from wartime production to peacetime survival. Metal demand had been intense. Mints were under stress. Production standards were not perfect. Dies wore down. Details faded faster. And coins entered circulation hard and fast. That pressure matters. Because stressed minting years create survivors that are far rarer than people realize. The standing Liberty design itself was bold. On the front, Lady Liberty stands strong, holding a shield in one hand and an olive branch in the other. It was a symbol of defense and peace at the same time. Powerful, confident. But here's what most people don't know. The details on these coins wore down extremely fast. Liberty's head, the shield lines, the date. They disappeared quickly in circulation. That's why condition changes everything. Flip it over and you see the eagle in flight. Clean, sharp, freedom frozen in silver. But on most 1919 quarters, that eagle looks flat today. Why? Because these coins were heavily used during a rebuilding economy. Survival in very fine condition is not common. And survival with strong detail, that's where the serious money lives. This coin is 90% silver, 10% copper. It has weight, real weight, around 6.25 grams, about 24 millimeters across, thin but solid. When you hold it, it feels different than modern quarters. It feels alive, cold, historic, heavy with time. That physical presence is part of its magic. It's not flashy. It's not gold, but it carries silent power. Now here's where things get dangerous. The 1919 quarter without a mint mark means it was struck in Philadelphia. And while millions were made, very fine survivors with strong detail are a different story. Most were worn smooth. Dates faded. Liberty's features erased. So when one shows up with real detail still visible, collectors go quiet, and then they go aggressive. This is not fiction. At auctions, When a true, very fine 1919 with no mint mark example appears with original surfaces, the room changes. Bidders don't shout. They calculate. They wait. And then the numbers climb fast. Because they know supply is shrinking. Collectors who own strong examples, they're holding. They're not selling. Demand rises quietly every year while available pieces disappear into private collections. And here's the number that should shake you. In very fine condition, this coin has reached market levels around $212,000. Let that sink in. That is hidden wealth. That is serious money. That is life-changing opportunity from a coin people once used to buy groceries. But listen carefully. Do not spend this coin. And whatever you do, never clean it. Cleaning destroys value instantly. That original grey tone, that soft, antique silver look, even slight darkness around the edges. That is history. That is proof. That is what collectors obsess over. A cleaned coin looks shiny but dead. An original coin looks aged but alive. Original toning matters more than brightness. Professional grading is critical. I'm serious. If you think you have one, do not guess. Do not wipe it. Do not polish it. Have it authenticated. Because tiny details change everything. The strength of Liberty's shield lines. The clarity of the date. The eagle's feather definition. Even small surface marks can decide massive differences in value. And here's another mistake people make. They assume no mint mark means common. Not in this condition. Not with this survival rate. In very fine, with honest circulation wear, but strong remaining detail, this coin becomes rare in a way most people never understand. It becomes a silent treasure hiding in plain sight. Check the date carefully. Make sure it says 19th. Look for that strong standing Liberty. Look for depth in the shield. Look for an eagle that still has life in its wings. And if it looks old and dirty, good. Dirty coins shock people, but original surfaces are gold to collectors. Patience is golden in this game. The collectors who win are the ones who wait, who study, who hold. They understand that rare US coins like this don't scream. They whisper, and those whispers are worth serious money. So I'm telling you again, do not spend this coin. These coins equal hidden wealth. Old coins equal big treasure. And somewhere out there, someone is about to drop one of these into a vending machine without knowing they just lost a fortune. But don't relax yet, because the next coin on this list makes the 1919 look almost ordinary. The next one is rarer, scarier to ignore, and the detail that makes it explode in value, almost nobody notices it. Stay with me. What comes next is even bigger. Next coin number 2. All right, EagleCoins family, this one right here, this is where things get serious. Imagine pulling out an old, worn silver quarter. The date looks faded. The surface looks grey, maybe even a little dirty. Most people would toss it back into circulation without thinking twice. But what if that coin you're about to spend is actually a hidden treasure worth serious money? I'm talking about the 1921 Standing Liberty quarter without a mint mark. And this coin is dangerous to ignore. Let's go back to 1921. America is not celebrating. The country just entered a brutal economic recession after the post-World War I boom collapsed. Businesses failed. Jobs disappeared. Money was tight. The government cut back. Production slowed. And right in the middle of that financial pressure, fewer quarters were made. That matters. Because when production drops during economic stress, rarity is born. The Philadelphia Mint struck the 1921 standing Liberty quarter with no mint mark. And here's the shocker. Compared to surrounding years, the mintage was dramatically lower. That year wasn't about abundance. It was about survival. And the coins that survived, even fewer. Now picture the design. Lady Liberty standing boldly, shield in hand, olive branch extended. It was a statement coin. Strength and peace at the same time. But by 1921, this design had already proven one thing. It wore down fast. The date especially. On many examples, the numbers are weak, fading into the silver. So when you find one where the date is still readable, even in very good condition, that's not ordinary. That's rare US coins alert. Flip it over and you see the eagle in flight. Wings stretched, strong lines, a symbol of freedom pushing forward despite hardship. But most 1921 quarters were used hard during a struggling economy. They weren't saved. They weren't protected. They were spent. Over and over. That's why survival is rare. This coin is 90% silver, 10% copper. It carries that old-world silver glow. It weighs about 6.25 grams, around 24 millimeters across. Slim, roughly 1.75 millimeters thick. When you hold it, it doesn't feel like pocket change. It feels solid. It feels historic. It feels like quiet wealth resting in your palm. Now here's where collectors get intense. The 1921 with no mint mark quarter had one of the lowest mintages of the entire Standing Liberty series. That alone puts it in a different league. Even in very good condition, this coin is a silent fortune. Not flashy, not shiny, but powerful. And here's the truth. In today's market, a genuine 1921 Standing Liberty quarter in very good condition has reached around $188,000. Let that hit you. That is life-changing wealth hiding in a worn silver coin. That is serious money sitting in drawers, jars, and forgotten boxes. This is not fiction. At auctions, when a real 1921 example shows up, the room changes. It gets quiet. Bidders don't joke. They don't hesitate. They calculate. Then the numbers start moving. Aggressive, but controlled. Because they know supply is shrinking. Collectors who own one, they hold it. They don't want to let go. Demand keeps rising. Available pieces keep disappearing. But listen very carefully. Do not spend this coin. I don't care if it looks worn. I don't care if it looks dirty. Dirty old coins shock people, but original surfaces are everything. That grey tone, that soft antique silver look, that natural aging, that's proof of authenticity. That's character. That's value. Never clean the coin. Cleaning destroys value instantly. The second you polish it, you erase history. You kill the surface collector's crave. And once it's cleaned, it can never go back. Original toning matters. Natural wear is respected. Artificial shine is punished. Professional grading is critical. Especially with 1921, because tiny details change everything. The clarity of the date. The outline of Liberty's body. The shield lines. The eagle's feathers. Even in very good condition, collectors obsess over these details. This detail changes everything. And don't assume that because it has no mint mark, it's common. In this case, no mint mark means Philadelphia. And Philadelphia, in 1921, produced far fewer than normal. That missing mint mark, it's not ordinary. It's part of the rarity story. What should you check? First, the date. Make sure it clearly reads 1921, then examine the surface. Does it have original texture, or does it look unnaturally shiny? Look at the edges. Is the reading sharp or worn flat? Look for signs of cleaning, harsh scratches, or polishing. Those mistakes destroy value. Patience is golden. If you think you found one, don't rush to sell. Don't rush to clean. Authenticate it. Protect it. Because coins like this are hidden treasure coins. Silent fortune hiding in plain sight. People are accidentally losing them every day because they don't recognize the power of that tiny date. And here's what makes this even more intense. The 1921 is already rare, already powerful, already worth serious money. But the next coin on this list, the next one takes rarity to another level. It's the kind of coin collectors fight over behind closed doors. The kind of coin that creates real auction shock. The kind of coin that almost never appears in strong condition. Stay with me. Because if you thought the 1921 was dangerous to ignore, what's coming next is even bigger. Next coin number 3. All right, EagleCoins family, this is it. This is the one people underestimate. And that's exactly why it's so dangerous. Picture this. You're digging through old change. Maybe a family coin box. Maybe a flea market tray. You see a worn silver quarter. The date says 1926. There's a tiny D mint mark on the back. It doesn't look flashy. It doesn't look famous. And that's why people lose it. That's why people spend it. That's why this coin is a hidden big treasure hiding in plain sight. We're talking about the 1926 Standing Liberty Quarter with the D mint mark from Denver. And if you ignore this coin, you could be walking away from serious money. Now let's go back to 1926. America is deep in the roaring 20s. The economy looks strong on the surface. Jazz is playing. Cities are growing. But underneath that excitement, wealth gaps are widening. Rural banks are struggling, and the system is quietly unstable. The mints are producing coins for heavy circulation, not for saving. Nobody is collecting these quarters carefully in 1926. They are being used hard, thrown into pockets, dropped on counters, worn down fast. And here's the twist. The Denver Mint did not flood the market with these. The 1926 with D had a lower mintage compared to many other Standing Liberty years. That alone puts pressure on supply. But what makes it truly rare is survival in very fine condition. Most 1926 with D quarters were worn nearly smooth. Dates faded. Liberty's face flattened. Eagles turned ghost-like. So when a true, very fine example appears, with real details still alive, collectors notice. Immediately, let's talk about that design. On the front, Lady Liberty stands in confidence, shield raised, olive branch extended. It's bold. It's patriotic. It's powerful. The design was meant to symbolize strength and peace at the same time. But this design had a weakness. It wore down quickly. The high points, especially Liberty's head and the shield lines, faded fast in circulation. Flip it over and you see the eagle in flight. Clean wings. Forward motion. But in most 1926 with D examples, those feathers are weak. So when you find one where the eagle still has visible feather detail in very fine condition, that's not common. That's rare US coins alert. This coin is made of 90% silver and 10% copper. It has that old silver tone collectors crave. It weighs about 6.25 grams, roughly 24 millimeters across, about 1.75 millimeters thick, slim but solid. When you hold it, you feel that cool silver weight. You feel history pressing into your fingers. It doesn't feel like modern pocket change. It feels like quiet wealth. And then there's that tiny D mint mark on the reverse. Small, easy to miss, sitting near the bottom. That one little letter changes everything. This detail changes everything. Because Denver didn't produce massive numbers that year, and far fewer survived with strong detail. Now here's where things get intense. In today's market, a genuine 1,926 with D standing Liberty quarter in very fine condition has reached around $172,000. Let that sink in. That's hidden wealth. That's a silent fortune. That's life-changing opportunity in a coin most people would call old and worn. This is not fiction. At serious auctions, when a strong 1,926 with D hits the block, collectors go into quiet mode. They study the surfaces. They check the mint mark placement. They examine the toning. And then the bidding starts climbing. Not loud, not wild, just steady and aggressive, because they know how hard these are to find with original surfaces. And listen carefully. Do not spend this coin. I don't care if it looks circulated. I don't care if it looks dull. Do not spend it. And whatever you do, never clean the coin. Cleaning destroys value instantly. That natural grey patina, that slightly darker edge toning, that soft silver glow, that's exactly what collectors want. Original toning matters. A cleaned coin looks shiny but lifeless. An original coin looks aged but powerful. Professional grading is critical here, especially with the 1,926 with D, because small differences in detail separate average from elite. Look at Liberty's shield lines. Are they still visible? Look at her facial outline. Is it still defined? Look at the eagle's wings. Can you still see feather separation? These tiny details decide massive value differences. And here's the mistake people make. They assume because 1,926 isn't the earliest year, it can't be that rare. Wrong. Rarity isn't just about age. It's about mintage and survival. And the 1,926 with D in very fine condition is one of those coins where survival numbers shrink fast. Check the mint mark carefully. Make sure the D is genuine and not altered. Examine the surface under light. Look for unnatural shine that suggests cleaning. Look for scratches from polishing. Those mistakes destroy serious money instantly. Patience is everything. If you think you have one, don't rush. Don't panic. Protect it. Authenticate it. Because collectors are holding these tightly. Supply keeps shrinking. Demand keeps rising. And every year, fewer original examples remain available. This coin is special. It's the kind of hidden treasure people accidentally lose because they don't understand the power of that tiny mint mark and that specific year. Dirty coins? Sometimes those are the most valuable. Silent fortune often looks ordinary. And now, EagleCoins family, think about what we just covered. A 1,919 with no mint mark worth serious money. A 1,921 with no mint mark that collectors fight over. And now, a 1,926 with D that quietly holds six-figure power. These old coins equal big treasure. These coins equal hidden wealth. People are spending them every day without knowing they're holding a fortune. So here's your final warning. Check your pockets. Check your jars. Check your family collections. Look at every standing Liberty quarter carefully. Date. Mint mark. Condition. Original surfaces. Do not spend these coins. Never clean them. Get them professionally graded. Because the next time you see a worn silver quarter, it might not be pocket change. It might be serious money waiting to change your life. If you felt that rush, if you felt that shock, hit subscribe right now. Because on this channel, we expose the hidden treasure coins nobody talks about. And trust me, there are even rarer coins out there. Coins that make these look small. Coins that create real auction wars. Stay with EagleCoins. Your next silent fortune could already be in your hand.